For this exercise, we're going to take the calculator program we wrote in the last chapter and put it inside a while loop so that we can run the program as long as we want to run it. So let's get started. First thing we need are two operand variables, operand 1 and operand 2. Then we need a variable to store if we want to continue. We'll call it more and set it to y. And then finally we need a variable for the operator, and with that we're ready to start. So we'll say while more is equal to y, console write, enter operand 1, operand 1 equals convert to double, console read line, then prompt for operand 2. Now we're ready to enter the operator, so we prompt the user first. And that's a convert to char. Now we have a series of if statements. Let me scroll up a little bit here. If op equals plus, console write line, operand 1 plus operand 2. Else if op equals minus, console write line, operand 1 minus operand 2. Else if op equals multiplication, the asterisk, console write line, operand 1 times operand 2. Else if op equals divide. Now here's where we prompt the user. We'll say another calculation. It's always good to let them know what you're expecting for input, so put a little yes no prompt there. And then more equals convert to char, console read line. And then at the bottom, thank you for using the calculator, just to be friendly to our users. All right, so let's run the program. So the first time in, we're not prompted if we want to continue, since this is our first time in, so we'll just hit a couple of numbers here and do a plus. I'm not worried so much about the operation of the calculator. Another calculation, yes. 23, 232, multiply. Yes, let's do one more. 34, 2.2, divide. No. So that's how it works. Now again, I'm not trying to make any sort of claims of this being a very great calculator program. We are going to keep building on this throughout the course, but it's a good example of working with if statements. It's a good example of working with while loop. Gives us a chance to act like a regular calculator, which constantly is coming back to its prompt to let the user enter something else. But it's not perfect. That's okay. That wraps up this chapter on looping. And now we're ready to move to another major chapter in this course on creating our own methods. Methods are the same thing as functions, if you're familiar with that term, but with methods, we're naming calculations that are longer than just 1 or 2 lines of code. For example, if we want to convert temperatures from Fahrenheit to Celsius, it makes sense to create a method for that conversion and name it so that rather than just have code throughout our program, we have named pieces of operations. Just like with the math functions. Absolute value, that's a named function. And that's what we're going to do in this next chapter, learn how to create our own methods.